Hello everyone. In this video, let's learn how to open and read files and folders in Python. Let's start with reading and opening files in Python. So, we'll be using this data.txt file which has around 6 lines with some sentences. Now, let's try to open it. The function that we'll be using to open a file is called open. As simple as that. So we'll use the open function and inside it initially we'll pass the name of the file that we'll be opening. So it will be data.txt. Followed by it we'll enter what is the mode that will be operating on this text. Whether we'll be only reading the file or only writing the file or we'll be reading and writing the file. You might wonder, why do we need to specify this information to a computer? The need to enter this is that you can read this file in multiple computers, but once you start writing and reading at the same time, it causes some issues. Even if you try to write the file in two computers, then it will cause some issues. So in order to solve this concurrency issues, here we mention the mode that will be operating on. So let's first try to only read the file. So we'll be entering R here. Let's also save this in a variable and the variable is named as F. Now let's try to print the variable F. You can see here that we get a text IO wrapper with the name of data.txt and the mode as R. But here we are not seeing the actual data that is present in the file. So we'll use the read function and let's print it now. Now we can see that what are all the text data that is present in this file. There are some 6 sentences here. We can also use some other functions like readLine to access only one line here. If you want to read the second line alone, we can use readLine again. And let's see it now. Yeah, we get 2 lines. And you might wonder what is the space in between. This is printed once after we use the readLine function. But you might feel this as a bit weird where we are trying to use this readLine function a certain number of times to access certain number of text files. What if you want them in a single list? We can use readLines function for it. So let's create a variable called ARR and let's use readLines function. Now let's print the array. Here we can see that all the text in the file is getting separated and stored as each data in a list, and from this you can access a certain lines that you need from the text here. So here I get only the first line. If I want the second line, I use the first one index to get the second line here. Now that we have understood how to open files and read files in Python, let's start writing files in Python. So let's open a file ad.txt and let's specify w, which means to write. But I'll also show you my directory where there is no file which is called ad.txt here. So what Python does is it initially searches in your directory whether this file is present there or not, then it creates a file on its own. So after this, let's just print it. I've run the code and now I'll show you the directory. Here we can see that there is a file that has been created with the name ad.txt. Now let's try to write some lines in this file. So I'll write hello and then I'll run this code. Now let's open the file. Here we can see that hello is getting added to the file. Now let's also write and another sentence in the file. So let's write how are you, and then let's run the code. Now we can see the file. Here we can see that hello and how are you are being added to the text. Now that we have hello and how are you in the text file, let's try to add some other line like I am fine. So I'll access the variable, use the write function and write I am fine. Now let me run the code. Now that we have added this line, let's see the text file. Here we can see that the hello and how are you are not there and it is getting replaced with this I am fine line. So what is the problem here? The problem is that the W command that we enter here overwrites the file that we are using. So every time we open it and write something there, it overwrites the files and the text that is present in this file. So what will be the solution to this? One solution is there, and that is use the A command. A command is called append command, and this appends to the already existing text that is present in the file. So here we can see that I am fine is there in the text file. So now as we use the append, let's try to add some other text there and let's check it out. So I'll write it's a great day and let's enter slash in here because that will create a new line here. Now let's run this code and check the file. We can see there are two lines in the file and the first line is not getting overwritten by the new line that we have added. Now let's try to open some files other than text file. Let's open the directory and here we can see a picture here. And this is the picture. So let's try to open this picture now. So let me erase this code and enter lena.png and now we'll read the file. So I'll mention R here. Now let's print the file. But we get an error here which says character map codec can't decode bytes in the position 69. So the problem here is text file contains characters but images contains binary format data, and to read binary format data we should mention B here. So RB means read binary, and now let's use the read function and print the file. Here we get the values that are present in this image, and these are hexadecimal values. Now let's try to create a different image out of it. So let me create a new file, image. So I'll say lena underscore 2.png, and as we'll be writing it here, I'll mention W and B here, so which means write binary. And you can also check in this directory that lena underscore .png is not present here. So now what we do is I'll say o.write, which writes the file, and here I'll say f.read. So the file that is present in this lena.png will be getting written in the file O, and it will be stored here as lena underscore 2.png. So now that I have run the code, let me check the directory, and here we can see that lena underscore .png is present, and as I open it we get this same image. So we have understood how to read text files and images with functions like open. In Python, you can also use some libraries like OS and glob to access folders and files in Python easily. These are generally used in data science when you have to load some images into an environment. See you again in the next video.